Well, hello, my name is Jason Beggs. I have a business called Peninsula Hypnotherapy, and I'm a solution-focused hypnotherapist. And this is...
I'm Andrew Jamison, and I am a solution-focused hypnotherapist like Jason. We both train together, and my business is called Binary Hypnotics. So what are we going to do today, Jason?
So we get quite a lot of text messages, phone calls and emails about what is solution-focused hypnotherapy and how can it help me. So we thought we'd do a quick video today about what it basically is and how it can help you. So
yeah, we get, as Jason says, we get queries all the time because solution-focused hypnotherapy is sort of like, I suppose it's a new thing in terms of hypnosis. It's a new type of therapy that's been going for probably 20 years over in England.
I'll say roughly 20 years.
Yeah. So we get a lot of questions as to what's different about it in terms of conventional hypnotherapy, and we just noted down because we get emails all the time, phone calls, queries. Just thought we'd get the most common questions because I know people like to watch videos, and so I thought we would do this. So the first question I've got down, Jason, is why would somebody come to a solution-focused hypnotherapist? What's the difference?
Well, I've done both traditional clinical hypnotherapy and also now trained in solution-focused. I think the main difference would be that what we do with our work is we show people how the brain works, especially this is very beneficial for people with maybe anxiety and depression, who this bit of education around the brain and the brain brain revision and brain science, as we call it, is based around neuroscience. So we teach people basically how the brain works, what parts of the brain are active during anxiety, for example, or during stress. This I think is very beneficial because it gives people an understanding of what's actually happening, how those patterns start, and basically giving them options for other things they can do and realising that they do have a choice and they can make changes.
Yeah, I think the big thing that I've noticed about solution-focused hypnotherapy is it's not just the client has to be active in it. They don't come along, get the hypnosis session and go home. They learn how they've become anxious or how they've become depressed or how that phobia is being created. So they get taught coping tools, so they can go away long after the hypnotherapy's happened and know how to react differently or how to maybe adapt to a situation differently so that they're going to cope better in the future. So it's very much an active process from the client's perspective as well, with all the neuroscience, and it's all fascinating as well. I find the whole thing fascinating.
It is very good because it's basically a lot of stuff to learn for us as therapists, which we then teach the clients as well.
And it really empowers them. It's not just like don't get me wrong, like hypnotherapy isn't some sort of magic wand. There's a certain amount of, as you would know, work for the client has to be at the point that they want to change.
Exactly.
And this sort of therapy will enable them to change because we do work quickly around here.
Well, basically it is intended to be a brief therapy.
Yes.
So that's we really want to drive the client towards their preferred future, whatever they want to achieve in their life. So basically what we say is about drawing the line in the sand and saying, look, we know that the past is basically over. We can't change it, though we can reflect on it, we can learn from the past, and then we can also really focus on what we want to have in the future and take control and start driving towards what you want to have happen in your preferred future, as we'd call it.
Okay. So again, another question that I get asked, how many sessions are we going to need? Is that dependent on the conditions?
It does. For a stop smoking session, we do that generally in one session. For, say, phobias, that will be done typically over 3 sessions. And then for help with depression, anxiety, for example, that's going to depend on the client. Everybody's an individual. Ultimately, the client knows when they don't need any more sessions, and then they might want to reduce the frequency. We do like to see people, say, once a week. And as time goes on, they might want to cut it down to every other week or maybe even once a month. And that basically, once they get steered in the direction they want to go and they've taken what they need from the sessions, they can then move on.
But equally, I work as you do a lot with anxiety and clients with anxiety. You sometimes find after the first meeting and maybe a couple of sessions after that, that's all that they need. And they're back on track again and they're flying high.
Exactly. Because ultimately, once they've learned that they can take control, they can be empowered to make those changes, I would say that myself in clients.
Clients move pretty quickly. What about hypnosis itself? What would you describe it as? Because I get asked that quite a lot.
Well, I do as well. My definition of hypnosis is basically it's a focused state of attention where to a greater or lesser extent external stimulus is ignored. So basically it means that if you're driving along in your car, very often you can go into a trance, you're driving along and basically you forget most of the journey. Your unconscious or subconscious mind basically is driving the car and you drift off into a kind of a daydream. When you're watching TV, there's another time as well when you can be that focused on the TV, just on that, because we say the TV is a trance inducer, so we can get into a trance state. So it's a natural state.
Yeah, because people think it's something that's nearly forced upon them, but it's a natural state we go into many times in the day, and it's the most natural thing in the world, and easy to contrive within the consulting room. I'm sure you find that.
Yes, it is.
And a very powerful state as well, hypnosis, but it's something that I find it's very, very easy to get somebody to go into a state of hypnosis, but the one thing about it is you have to believe that it's going to work. If you come in, with a rock solid belief that it's going to help you, guess what?
It won't
help you.
No.
So it's something you have to be open to, but it's a natural state, as Jason says. It's not.
Yeah, I think that also another point as well is there's also a belief of, will I lose control, will I get stuck in hypnosis? Well, the way I would describe that, if you're driving along in your car and you're in that daydream and somebody pulls out in front of you, you slam the brake on quickly, you react like that. The same goes for hypnosis. If something happens, an emergency, in that trance state, you will awaken out of the trance. Trance is not about, and hypnosis is not about losing control, it's about gaining control.
Yeah, because that's another thing people do comment about you've got the power over somebody or you've got mind control over somebody, but it's not like that.
No.
You're facilitating somebody to go into hypnosis, but you're actually putting yourself into hypnosis. That's how it works. You're just facilitating it as you sit there as the therapist and enabling that person to go into trance and then bringing them back out of trance again.
Yeah.
But the other question that I'm asked quite frequently is, what's it going to feel like, Andrew? What's it going to feel like to me?
We're going to say basically just close your eyes. Listen to my voice.
That's what I would say. Close your eyes now and just listen to me speaking. That's exactly what it feels like.
Yeah.
That's right. But you might feel a bit more relaxed. You might feel a bit sort of spaced out. It's a wonderful feeling and something that everybody really should experience. Nothing more than that.
That's basically it.
That's basically it. It's nothing more mystical than that. It's a very, very natural state. And probably the final question, because I don't want to make this video too long, was the common conditions that solution-focused hypnotherapy can help with, Jason.
Okay, well, many therapists work in different areas. I personally work with people, my main areas would be depression, anxiety, and stress management as such would be the main focus areas for me. But basically we can help, I would say, any condition that is exacerbated by stress. So understanding how stress works, understanding how you can begin to make changes to control that and whatever is within your control, because we say we can't change the outside world, but we can take control of the inside world.
Yes, and it's about taking control of those small things that lead on to the bigger things. I certainly find in my practice that it's anxiety, it's depression, it's phobias, sort of the main things
I
that I'm
get
getting.
a few phobias as well, but mainly it's anxiety and depression is the main things I would say, because as we would often say, when you learn to get anxiety under control in your life, you find the knock-on effects in so many other areas just come in, because when you start to learn to take control, it just makes more possibilities, and each small step you take is showing yourself that you can learn new ways to be, essentially rewiring your brain, like what we call neuroplasticity.
And we're going to do a separate video specifically about anxiety, because it is so common, just about how solution-focused hypnotherapy can help with anxiety. So will be a separate video on that. That's fine, Jason. So I think we've answered all the questions that I had down.
Yep. If you have any more questions you can think of, or anything you want to ask us about, just put the comments in the box below and we'll do our best to answer them.
Or indeed, Jason's website's what?
www.peninsulahypnotherapy.co.uk.
I'm www.binaryhypnotics.com. And again, our contact numbers will be just below us here if you want to get in touch, and feel free to, because for an informal chat there's no problem, and there's no pressure. If anybody rings and wants to talk, we'll give out the advice as much as best we can. So thanks for watching.
Thank you.